Hi friends, I am Krishna Mohan. Till now you have learned, means we are learning Sdlc. This is the second class of Sdlc. We already completed the first phase in Sdlc, where these are the phases: initial phase, analysis phase, design phase, coding phase, testing phase, delivery or deployment phase, maintenance phase. Okay, the first initial or the requirement phase we have already completed. So now we will be going for the second phase, that is the analysis phase. uh, so initial phase has been completed, and um, the output of this initial or requirement phase is the business design document or business requirement document or business requirement specification. Okay, and this will be act as an input to the analysis phase. This will be the input to the analysis phase. The analysis will be done basing on this document. Okay, so this document should be given to the members who will be there in the analysis phase. Okay, and before going to the this analysis phase, this document should be baselined. Okay, at least it should be reviewed. Okay, reviewed and baselined. Okay, so analysis phase. uh, what is the task of the analysis phase? This phase is meant for analyzing the requirements that are basically collected and documented in BRS. Okay, in BRS, what are there? We got all the requirements of the customer, which is collected by the business analyst. Okay, those requirements will be input to this analysis phase, and those requirements are analyzed in this analysis phase. You might be thinking, why already requirements have been fixed? Why now you are analyzing it? Means this is actually the system analysis. Means to fulfill those requirements which are mentioned in the BRS. Those requirements has to be analyzed in terms of our system. Means for fulfilling those requirements, what type of software is required, what type of hardware is required. Okay, how the modules will be, and all those things in technical terms. Means we have to say the requirements are written in the technical terms. Okay, and who will do that those things? System analyst. The role here is the system analyst. Okay, the input document is BRS. Okay, then okay, see here, the system analyst will analyze the documented requirements. I mean the requirements which are being documented uh, in BRS. Okay, uh, then they will identify all the hardware and software required for fulfilling the requirements. Okay, that's what means. Suppose if they want a banking software, for that which language should be used? Okay, what are the features should be there? Suppose mm, what is, if at all any payment is there, what which type of payment gateway you have to use it. Okay, how many kinds of payments should be there. Okay, uh, okay, those all things will be decided here. So okay, uh, due to analysis they will identify and reuse components. Means here they will identify which components we can reuse it. Reuse in the sense um, it is not recycling, it is reuse. Okay, reuse means suppose something they have used in some projects. Okay, code maybe, which part of the code can be used here as it is. Okay, so those components are being identified. Okay, for some projects, okay, some code might be written. Okay, which is available ready made, so that can be used as it is. Okay, without doing any modifications. So those type of analysis will be done here. Means which can be used, which can be done from scratch. Okay, and which item or the module is being developed in house. Okay, and which item or the module to be given to the third party. Here that decision is also being taken. Means which we have to do and which we have to go give to the third party, means some other company. Okay, why we will give this some other company? Maybe because we may not have that much expertise in that module. Okay, or uh, we want to decrease our cost. Okay, resource cost. Okay, there will be number of reasons. Okay, and that decision will be taken in this analysis phase. Okay, which we will be doing here, means in the developer's place, and which we will going to giving to some other company. Okay, once the requirements are taken, raw requirements in the sense the requirements which are taken by the customer, from the customer, okay, by the BA. Okay, so where we will have the raw requirements, business requirement document. Okay, business requirement document. So the system analyst or the domain expert or the subject matter expert, okay, whatever it is, no, mainly we will call it as a system analyst, okay, because he is analyzing the system. Okay, will perform the feasibility study on all the requirements. Now you are thinking, okay, we have already done the feasibility study and you have baselined the requirements in the previous phase. Then why again we are doing this feasibility study? Okay, see, here there is a means in that time, even though the feasibility is done, again we are performing feasibility here, whether the system is feasible or not. There also the high level feasibility is being checked. Here the low level maybe feasibility will be checked. Low level in the sense in the depth they will be checking that feasibility. And if at this particular point of time, if they uh, get that okay, this can't be done, so if they think that okay, this cannot be feasible, then that has to be intimated to the customer. Okay, so is there any chance that in this feasibility there will be very little chance, okay, because if this particular point of time, if you tell to the customer, because already requirements have been fetched and been approved by the customer, now you are, if you going to change the requirements, means it is not a good sign to the company. Okay, so it is a very bad thing. Okay, so it is even though they will do the feasibility study, but they will check for the different alternatives first. Okay, if it is not possible the way that the customer is saying, but they will check for the different alternatives. Okay, some other way will be there where this requirement can be satisfied. Okay, and if there is some other way, and that way we can do it, then that will be intimated to the customer. Okay, so in that way, means for doing means for doing something or for fulfilling some requirement, there may be different ways. Okay, so different options will be available, so we have to select the best option. Okay, so that is what is decision making analysis. Okay, decision taking analysis. Okay, decision analysis and resolution. Okay, there is a one separate okay, books on that one, decision resolution analysis. Dart techniques, you are say, we will be saying, though we don't bother about those dart techniques. Okay, how the decisions has to be taken. Okay, I can't, Ajay, if I am a system analyst, I can't take decisions my own. Okay, we have to apply some techniques for that. Okay, as per the technique, which is the best solution we got it, or the which is the best option we got in by using that technique, only that option should be selected. Okay, it is not my company that I can, even though I am a system analyst, I can't select any option. Okay, so here I'm going to what I am going to say, even though feasibility study is again done here, and if we think that that is not feasible, that will be intimated to the customer. Okay, and we have to give some alternative solutions also. Okay, it is not that it is not feasible, we are not going to do it. Okay, so it cannot be done in this way, it can be done in that way. We have to explain to the customer. Okay, uh, this way the system analyst will study all the requirements and check whether there are any alternative solutions for fulfilling that requirement, any requirement. Okay, and by using some techniques, he will select the best alternative for fulfilling those requirements. Okay, so that's what I am saying, that it is not that we can't do or we will not do. It is that they have to select the best alternative, and that best alternative has to be intimated to the customer if required. Okay, if customer is saying we have to do in this way, it is explicitly mentioned by the customer that the means uh, suppose payment, this gateway has to be used for your payment. If he explicitly mentions it, then we have to set that, okay, for these are the problems if you use this gateway. Okay, we can suggest some other gateways which is having the same functionality. Okay, so we have to suggest them and we have to take the approval. Okay, after com- after completing the responsibilities of the system analyst will prepare a document. Okay, after doing all the studies or analyzing all the requirements, he will make a document known as system requirement specification. Okay, system requirement means to fulfill those requirements, what the system requires, means it is not about the hardware and the software. Okay, that will be there, but what are the techniques that we are going to use? Okay, what are the things that we are going to make in-house, and what we are going to give it to the third party? Okay, and what are the modules? Okay, and what are the what you called um, what are the ways that we are going to achieve those requirements? Those are all technical, in technical terms it will be written, okay, in SRS. Then what are the responsibilities? First thing is requirement analysis, which we already discussed. The list of all the requirements like human resources, software, hardware requirements in to accomplish the project successful will be carefully analyzed and listed out. Okay, here what is the system. Okay, entire system is been entire requirements been analyzed in terms of the system requirements. Okay, what system we want. Okay, then the feasibility study, uh, taking out the non-feasible requirements. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, feasibility study is detailed study. That's what it is. Detailed study on the requirements in order to check whether the requirements are possible within the available time, budget, and resources. Okay, tentative project planning, here that's what is important, because when we get what are the things that we are going to develop, and what are the things we are going to reuse, and what are the things what we are going to give to the third party. If you know those things, then only you can initiate the planning. Okay, means if you know what what we have to do, and what are the things we are getting from the outside. Okay, what you are going to reuse it. Okay, depending on that, tentative planning, high level planning will be done. Okay, so you know that plans will not be baselined. Okay, plans will be controlled and managed. So every time plans will be changing. Here at this point of time, there will be high level planning will be done, which says okay, we can say that it is a phase wise planning will be done. Okay, even though the phase wise more a step lower to the phase wise planning, where the module wise planning can be done. Okay, how which module will be built when, and when we are getting the uh, third party deliverables. Okay, so all things will be planned here. Okay, in the kickoff meeting, already we got the phase wise planning. Here we will get somewhat detailed planning. Okay, then technical evaluation and selection. Okay, here the technical things will be evaluated, and depending on our feasibility, we will select we will use some techniques which I already mentioned, and we will select the appropriate technique. Okay, the list of all techniques that are required to accomplish the project successfully, and the details of the environment which will be suitable for the application will be clearly analyzed and mentioned here in this section. Okay, here there will be, means what I told you, that which technology should be used for coding, what is the environment in which the development will be taking place, in which the testing will be taking place, and what is the customer's environment in which the application will be deployed. Okay, so it all the analysis will be done here. Okay, sorry. And here the output is system requirement specification, and if feasibility study report, there in first stage also we are having the feasibility report, and here also we are having the feasibility report if required. Okay, but the system requirement specification is must and should be there. Okay, so here we are having SRS as the output. Okay, I think you understand. Next we'll go for this one, design phase. Okay, this is the overall view up to now. In initial phase, or the requirement phase, we got the output as the BRS. Okay, and that BRS will be the input to the analysis phase, and in analysis phase you got the input output as SRS, and that will be the input to the design phase, the next phase, which we will going to discuss in the next video. Okay, thank you for now. Have a nice day.